All right, today's assignment is where we're going to take this PowerPoint this Google slide, and we're going to organize it based off of what the topic slides. So let's get started on this. You can read through this if you need to fully understand the lesson description or directions. There is extra credit points. We'll talk about that later in the video. But we're going to click on this right here and open up the Google slide. Everybody should have their own name on this when it's created in Google Classroom. So you should see your name up here, and you can click on this. Should open up, look something like this. This is our title slide. And then underneath of our title slide, we have topic slides. And so the topic slides is what we're going to try to organize these slides down here under. All right, so let's look at the topic slides. First one is landscaping. So landscaping is going to be talking about where we're putting things, how we're designing the land for green purposes to make the footprint of our buildings and our house a little bit more friendly with the environment. Then we have use of nature. So this is kind of similar to landscaping because we're using trees and other things to waterfall, rain, I should say. We're using nature to, again, help reduce our impact on the environment. Then we have interior design. So this is how the inside of our buildings might look or feel. Solar orientation. This is orienting or positioning our buildings in relation to where the sun is throughout the day or throughout the year. So solar orientation is a topic slide. And location. So these things are sometimes related. Like you think about location and orientation. It could be difficult to decide where it would go, but you pick the best one that you think is best. The same thing with use of nature and landscaping, have very similar. Sometimes use of nature and solar orientation are very similar. So not necessarily any wrong answers here, but I want you to be thinking about all these different green architecture ideas or techniques. So let's take a look at this one. Trees on the east and west side of a building can reduce cooling load. All right, so you may be thinking, well, how does that happen? Well, it could be, sun rises in the east, sets in the west, you might be thinking about. So you might be thinking, well, solar orientation. But this is about trees. So the fact that they said trees here means that it's more about using nature to help reduce our energy use, our cooling loads. So cooling loads, we wouldn't have to cool down our house because the trees are going to shade our buildings. So we would put this one, click on it and drag it and take it up to use of nature. So like I said, this might be, this might be too big or too small to read or to move. So you can come over here to Google Chrome's 3 little setting tabs and zoom out. Don't go too small because then it's going to be hard to read, although you can read them here. But don't go too big that it's kind of hard to see the topic slides. So I kind of like that right there. I can still read this and I can see more than one topic slide. So then the other thing that you might see on this is definitions. So definitions are the extra credit points for the assignment today. If you find a word on here that you're not sure about, you can define it. Now the max number of extra credit points is 50 points. So at 5 points of definition, correct definition that is, you would get 5 points. And so if the max was 50, that's only 10 words. Now that doesn't mean only do 10 words. This is also about learning. This is also about protecting your grade and being smart. So if you do more extra credit, more definitions than 10, that's going to help if you do a definition incorrectly. So if there's an incorrect definition, you don't get the 5 points. But if you have 11, then you have that one extra one that just in case, and you get the extra bonus points. All right, so now here's another one. Plan for water management. Rainfall is a potential water bonanza. You might not be sure about bonanza, so you might go ahead and copy that. So I do Control-C for me. And then I like to paste without formatting down here so it's not as big. And then you might go to like a dictionary online. Make sure you use a reputable source. So dictionary.com or Merriam-Webster are good dictionaries. So let's use this one. And we'll type in, or we'll paste in bonanza. Look it up. And here you go. A rich mass of ore as found in mining, a source of great and sudden wealth or luck, spectacular windfall. So I think this is kind of more what they're talking about is getting a lot of something. So when they're looking at this, a water bonanza, it's bonanza is something that's, you know, a lot of luck, a good amount of stuff. Sudden, when it rains, all of a sudden you have a lot of water, basically. So you would come back in here and maybe, yeah, if it lets you, yep. Oops, what happened? Oh, look at that. You click on it and it defines it for you. That's funny, look at that. This might be difficult. We might just have to type it. Control C. There we go. And we can just put that in there. Paste without formatting. The source of great and sudden wealth or luck. Spectacular windfall. So water bonanza would be a lot of water at one sudden time. And then we can use that large amount of water. It says here we can store it in tanks and store thousands of gallons of water for use later in irrigation or with treatment for drinking and cooking, or maybe even as a source for waste disposal, cleaning of things, maybe not putting it in our bodies, but we could definitely use the rainwater to, you know, maybe clean equipment outside or to use to flush down the toilet, things like that. So this one, I feel like they're, again, using of nature. So I'm going to grab this one and put it right up here. Use of nature. All right. And then you're just going to keep going through these. Rooms that need more light and warmth would be located in the southeast quadrant of the house. Locate rooms used later in the day facing west, and utility areas on the north side. This sounds like, kind of talking about light and sun, but it's also talking about positioning. So, well, you know what, guys? You decide where you think it should go. Should it go under solar orientation? This is talking about how to get the morning light and warmth in the southeast, because the sun travels from east to west, so it's talking about west, but it also, especially in the northern hemisphere, stays primarily to the south throughout the day at some degree. And so the sun is going to warm the south side of the house, the east side of the house in the morning, the west side of the house in the afternoon, and the south side of the house pretty much all day. And so the north side of the house is not going to get a lot of light or sun, heat, warmth throughout the day. So that's what that's talking about. So is it going to be solar orientation? Is it going to be use of nature, interior design? It's talking about the inside of the buildings. You decide. Which one do you think it fits best? Good luck. Finish this whole, so I think there's 20 some slides. Yeah, 25 total, but of course the first 5 are your topic slides. So you have about 20 things to organize.